Hello everyone, I am Diana Rose Arnanias, a third year college at Baag Community College, BSE 3M. So today I'm going to discuss to you about the concepts, process, alignment, and tips on writing an effective research paper. So in writing your introduction, you should grab the reader's attention. Also, it should briefly introduce the subject matter, providing essential context in establishing the research problem. It should address the research gap, clearly stating a gap or existing knowledge in your research that aims to address. It should um it should clearly articulate the central question or hypothesis of your research that the research will investigate. Also, it should state the significance of your study, explaining why your research is important and what are the important implications are, and how your findings will contribute to the field. Next is the scope and structure. It is important that in the introduction, you outline the scope of your research, briefly mentioning the key areas that you will cover and the overall structure of your paper. So here are the tips on how you will be able to effectively create or write an introduction. Number one is keeping it concise. Aim for a concise introduction, typically no more than one page in a length. So maintain formal tone in writing your research paper. Use a professional and academic writing style. So avoid slangs or colloquialisms. Next is proofread carefully. Use or ensure your introduction is free of grammatical errors, typos, and inconsistencies. Next is engage the reader. Use active voice and compelling examples to keep the reader engaged. Last is focus on the so what. Clearly explain the significance of your research, addressing the so what questions in the media or in the minds of your readers. So next will be the statement of the problem. In writing your statement of the problem, it is also important that we grab the reader's attention. We should briefly introduce the subject matter, also the research gap, clearly state the gap or existing knowledge in your research, and the significance and the scopes and structure, outlining your research briefly by mentioning the key areas that will cover. So, um, for the assumption of the study is that um, number one, you should underlying beliefs. So assumptions are unproven beliefs that you had about the phenomenon you're studying. So they are necessarily facts but are considered plausible and accepted as true for the sake of your research. Next is influence on methodology. So assumptions directly influence your research, design, data collection, methods and analysis techniques. They guide your choices and shape the direction of your study. Next is the limitations. So, assumptions introduce limitations to your research. If an assumption turns out to be incorrect, it can affect the validity and generalization of your findings. Next is the explicit statement. So, it is crucial to explicitly state your assumptions in your research paper, making them clear to your readers. So this allows them to understand the potential limitations of your study and evaluate the validity of your conclusions. So here are the tips for you to be able to write an effective state assumptions of the study. So be specific, use language or strong language, um, connect to the methodology. It is important that your assumptions will connect to the methodology of your paper. Also, a knowledge of limitations. So be transparent about the potential limitations of your assumptions and their impact to the validity and generalizability of your findings. Next is consider alternative assumptions. So explore alternative assumptions that could made and how they might affect your research. Last is proofread carefully. So ensure your assumptions are free of grammatical errors, typos, and inconsistencies. So we will move now to the significance of the study. So in significance of the study, one of its concept is contribution to knowledge. So contribution to knowledge, practical implications, and societal impact. These three are very important in considering to write the significance of the study. So it should be highlighting your research adds to the existing body of knowledge, explain how your research findings can be applied in real-world settings, and the social impact, discuss the implications of your research for the society as a whole. So here are the tips on um, how you can write an effective significance of the study. So be specific, focus on your so what, connect to the existing literature or the RRLs, provide evidences, and absolutely keep it concise. So next will be the definition of terms. So in writing your definition of terms, it is very important to remember that the clarity and precision should be clear, concise, and precise, avoiding ambiguity or multiple interpretations. They should accurately reflect the specific meaning of the terms as used in your research. Next is contextual relevance. So definitions should be relevant to the context of your research. They should be tailored to the specific way you're using terms within your study. Next will be the source of attribution. So, if you're drawing conclusions from specific sources, be sure to attribute them properly. This adds to your definitions and allows readers to verify the information. So, here are the tips on how you can write your definition of terms effectively. Number one is use consistent format. So, maintain a consistent format for your definitions. This could include using bold font for the term being defined, followed by the colon and definition. So, next is avoid circular definitions. Next is third one is use examples. Provide examples to illustrate the meaning of term and make it more understandable for your readers. Next is consider your visual aids. For complex concepts, consider using visual aids such as diagram or charts to help readers understand the definitions. Last is proofread carefully. So as I've said earlier, it helps in ensuring that your definition are free of grammatical errors, typos, and inconsistencies. Now let's proceed to the writing of the RRLs, and we will be discussing the major two RRLs. So, literature review. So this involves critically analyzing and summarizing the published research articles, books, and other scholarly sources relevant to your topic. Next is review of related studies. So, the second major RRL is the review of related studies. So, this focus on analyzing and summarizing the results of previous research studies that are directly related to your research question. So, it involves examining the research design, data collection methods, and findings of these studies and evaluating the relevance to your own study. Next is the synthesis and analysis. So the RRLs is not just collection of summaries, it requires to synthesize and analyze the information that you have gathered. That involves identifying patterns, contradictions, and gaps in the existing literature. The fourth one is the contribution to knowledge. So the RRLs demonstrate how your research will contribute to the existing knowledge. So this could be involving filling a gap in the literature, providing new insights, or challenging existing theories, or developing a new methodologies. So here are the tips on how we can write effective RRL. So be comprehensive, be critical, be objective, be clear and concise, be use appropriate citations, and finally is to proofread carefully. So in writing your research design, let's proceed to the research design. So, research questions are the heart of your research when it comes to your research design. So, it is the specific inquiry you're seeking to answer. A well-defined research question is clear, focused, and researchable. Next is your methodology. Your methodology outlines the specific methods and techniques that you'll use to collect and analyze. This includes your research approach, which is qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods. So, next is variables. Your variables are the factors that your dependent variables. Next is the sampling and data analysis. It is important that you put into put consideration into your sampling and your data analysis. So let me give you tips on how you will be able to write um, an effective research design. So be clear and concise. Be specific, be ethical, meaning ensure your research design adheres to ethical guidelines for your research involving human subjects or animals. Next is be realistic, flexible, and seek for feedbacking. So get feedback from mentors, colleagues, experts in your field to ensure your research design is sound or correct. Next is in selecting your respondents. So these are the concepts in selecting your um, respondents. One is the target population, sampling, the data collection methods, which includes surveys, interviews, focus groups, observations, and the ethical considerations in selecting your respondents, like informed consents, confidentiality, and anonymity. Here are the tips. Target the right respondents, develop clear and concise questions, ensure ethical practices, provide incentives if appropriate, and thank your respondents after they have responded to your research paper. Next is the instrument of your research. So your research questions dictate the types of instrument that you need. It guides the variables you'll measure and the data you will collect. Next is the methodology. Methodology research approach like qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods. So the reliability and validity of your instrument is very important. Also, here are the tips on how you will ensure that uh, written a effective research paper. So align your research questions with the instrument, clear and concise language, appropriate question types, pilot testing is essential, ethical considerations like ensure your instruments adheres to the ethical guidelines for research involving human subjects. Also, seek feedback and consider pre-existing knowledge. So, research whether existing validated instruments can be used to adapt or be adapted to your study. So, next one is that's all. So, that's all for our discussion. So, thank you so much for listening.